Hi, my name is Ashley Carter. I chose to do my research paper over leadership styles, the history of leadership, and what makes a good leader. The history of leadership began in the 1900s. It emerged in the early 1900s as control and power. That emphasis continued into the 1930s. During this time, it emerged as identifying as interaction of individuals with specific personality traits within a group. This theory continued into the 1940s. There were three themes that dominated the 1950s: the continuance of group theory, leadership that developed shared goals, and effectiveness. This continued throughout the 1980s, and during this time, leadership theories exploded with scholarly works on the subject. Into the 21st century, the debate began as to whether leadership and management were one and the same, or if they were different processes. This brought new leadership approaches to light. These new approaches were authentic leadership, spiritual leadership, servant leadership, and adaptive leadership. So what makes a good leader? Leadership is defined as the activity of leading a group, people, or an organization, or the ability to do this. Leadership involves establishing a clear vision, sharing that vision with others so that they will follow, providing the information, knowledge, and methods to realize that the vision and coordination and balancing of the conflict of interest of all members and stakeholders. A good leader must display self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, and social skills. Self-awareness adds self-confidence. Social awareness is the display of empathy. Self-management helps to show self-control, and social skills is how one can influence others. A leadership style is a leader's way of providing direction and implementing and motivating people. During my research, I found that there were 6 main leadership styles that people tend to follow. Those are a visionary leader, a coaching leader, an affiliative leader, a demographic leader, a pace-setting leader, and a commanding leader. A visionary leader is one that motivates people to move forward. They tell members where to go, but not how to get there. They tend to openly share information which can cause them to fail in motivating people among the more experienced group. A coaching leader is probably one of the most effective types of leadership. They connect organizational leaders. They help to identify people's strengths and weaknesses and where they need to improve and where they really excel at. They are good at delegating. They work well when building long-term capabilities and commitments. If not done directly, this type of leadership could look like micromanaging gone bad. An affiliative leader is one who creates harmony within an organization. They're collaborative. They focus more on emotional needs instead of the needs of the organization and work needs. They tend to help with healing bad feelings. They mend relationships within an organization. A democratic leader is one who values the input and participation of others. They work well. This type of leadership works well when approval from others is needed. They work well to gain that approval and keep the cohesiveness of the group. A pace-setter leader is one who builds challenges and exciting goals. They expect excellence, and they will get results and motivation from a competent team. A commanding leader is one who displays power and a powerful stance. They give clear and concise directions. They tend to be commanding and they expect full compliance from everybody in their group. This type of leader tends to seem cold and distant. Not one or the other of these is completely 100% correct. Somebody may find that a combination of two of these leadership styles works for them. They aren't set in stone. People can use these to motivate their employees and to help create a well-rounded team. In my research, I found a quote by Peter Drucker that I thought really stood out to me. He says that only 3 things naturally happen in organizations: friction, confusion, and underperformance. Everything else requires leadership.